Hello friends, welcome to my channel IT Career. I hope you guys are doing excellent and I'm also doing fine. So, what we are going to discuss today? Today we are going to discuss virtualization, hypervisor and virtual machine. Mainly we'll be talking about hypervisor today. So what are the hypervisors and what are the types of hypervisors? So let us draw something and understand. In the last lecture of the GCP Associate Cloud Engineer, we discussed about compute engine, virtual machines, and hypervisors. About hypervisors, we talked little high level, but today we are going to discuss little depth. I would say everything. That is what hypervisor is. So let us draw something and understand what is hypervisor is. Okay. So you have a physical server here. Okay. Physical server. Okay. It has a capacity, it has CPU, right? Definitely every server will have, or computer will be having CPU. It has memory and it has network. Okay. Also it has storage. I'm writing it outside maybe because storage sometimes it is not physically attached to the server. Storage sometimes it is attached to the server, right? So storage, but it is necessary for every server to run. Without storage you cannot run the server. So this is your physical server, and now you have hypervisor here, a piece of software. Let me write it, hypervisors. Okay, so what is hypervisor is? It is a piece of software. It is a piece of software that enables multiple operating systems to run alongside with each other and sharing the same physical computing resources. Okay, so what it does, the beauty of this is it will build multiple VMs. Okay, it will build multiple VMs, virtual machines. Okay, these are, suppose this is VM1, VM2, VM3. Okay, and the beauty of that, the magic of hypervisor is it will create the VMs and the VMs could be running in different operating system. Like this can be running on Windows, this can be running on Linux, and this can be running on Ubuntu. Okay, this is the beauty. Now the catch is here, to run this VMs. So suppose the physical server, everything. So actually these VMs, you are creating, actually these are virtual, right? So these are fake, right? Fake VMs. Fake systems. They are physically not available. They are virtually created. So suppose you have here in the physical, you have 60 CPUs. Okay, you have 500 GB RAM. All right, and while you are allocating these resources to this VM. The hypervisor's work is allocate. So while creation of the VM, you are selecting, you are choosing how much you want to allocate to him. So this VM, maybe you have chosen 20 CPU. Okay, so that in that case it will not be CPU, it will be vCPU, virtual CPU, right? Because everything is virtual. Okay, these are fake. So but this guy is thinking that he's alone here, but he's not. There are several other, and you can build how many you want, but you cannot cross your limit. Physical hardware size limit. You have 60, you cannot move above 60. You have 500 GB of RAM, you can allocate that many of them. RAM, memory. And suppose you are giving a RAM of 100 GB into this one. To this one you are giving 5 vCPUs, okay, and memory 50. Okay, so like that you are providing. So what I said, it is a piece of software which creates VM, multiple virtual machines, and it manages. Okay, so this is called hypervisors. So next question is why we use hypervisors, right? So the primary reason of the using of the hypervisor is that the problem of the technology it solves, that hypervisors solve that the most physical hardware could not run more than one operating system. So your physical hardware can run only on one operating system. Remember, okay? So that's the problem. So then what is the constraint here? This constraint often led to wastage of resources. So you have, 60 CPUs and 500 gigabyte of RAM, and you are running your application here. You may not consume all the resources here, right, all the time. And it is very difficult to, if you need a server of the physical server in back before virtual machines discovery, right, you have to build a server. It takes months or weeks, right? But VMs can be built very quickly, all right, very quickly within seconds. Once we'll go through our exercises in the Google Cloud Platform, you'll see within minutes it will create the VMs. All right. So now one thing I missed here is the underlying operating system. So I'm going to cover next to that. So what I'm talking about is, so hypervisors are, there are two types of hypervisor. One is type 1 and another is type 2. All right. So what are type 1 hypervisors? So type 1 hypervisors are actually this one. Okay, the example I have given. So the type 1 hypervisors are installed directly on the physical server, which is why it is also called, this is also called bare metal. Okay, hypervisor. This is also called bare metal hypervisors, this one, because it is installed on the directly to the operating, not OS, the physical server. Okay. Direct access to the resources to the physical server makes the hypervisor, the type 1 hypervisor, highly efficient, right? And because why? They are directly, they have access to the CPUs, right? So this design also makes sure the type 1 hypervisor more secure, and as a limits at, it limits the attack, and it will be more secure. There is nothing in between the hypervisor and the physical hardware. So, and that is the benefit. Okay. Type 1 hypervisor are far most common choice in the enterprise. Remember, okay, and primary use, the strong scalability and security level, scalability. You can scale up anytime, right? And the performance also. Why it is performance? Because they have direct access to the CPU, direct access to the memory. There is no agent between these two. All right. If I give some example of the type 1 hyper, so this is type 1. Okay, I'm just writing here type 1 hypervisor. So some example if I give worldwide, like like type 1 hypervisors are like Nutanix, AHV, and then VMware ESXi, Microsoft Hyper-V. All right, these are the example of type 1 hypervisors. Now let's talk about type 2 hypervisors. So it has the same thing, but only thing is, so let me write it back here. This is your physical server, right? And now you have a host operating system here. This is host OS. Okay, so suppose you are running Windows here. Okay, and same way here also you have CPU, you have memory, you have network, and you have storage. Okay, so now here also on top of your host OS, your hypervisor, this piece of software, it's a very great software. It changed the world. Your hypervisor is installed and it does the same thing. It does the same thing like type 1 hypervisor here, like creating multiple VMs of different size, right? So these are again VM1, VM2, VM3. Okay, it can be running on Windows, it can be Linux, or it can be running on CentOS. Okay, so different operating system. All right, so type 2 hypervisor differ in that they run application on the physical servers preceding host. Okay, they run on the preceding host because they run on the host OS, and which sits between between the physical server and the hypervisor. They are also called hosted. So type 1's another name is hosted hypervisor. Okay, all right, so they are actually very easy to install, and the classic example, they are not used much in the enterprise, but they are mostly used in the home computers, like your personal PC or laptop, so that if you want to practice more more than one operating system, like you want to learn Windows, you want to learn Linux, you want to learn CentOS or any other operating, there are plenty of other operating system available. You can do that. So the benefit of that, the of the hypervisors could be cost, right? With definitely cost saving. How? Like this enable cost saving through reducing the physical footprint, right? So here you have only, so back, think about back, see, if you need 10 servers, physical server, so to order and to deliver to your data center, it used to take months or weeks, right? And then somebody will come and install or host the physical server. Now you, within a click of a command, within few minutes, you can build n number of virtual machines, right? So physical footprint, it reduces, and also it saves the cost of electricity, right? If you have 10 servers of physical server, you need 10 servers, electricity, cooling, maintenance, all these things, right? But virtual machines are what? Virtual machines are nothing but a computer within computer. Okay, these are also software based machines, virtual machines. So it is like a computer within your computer, right? So, and that virtualization also greatly improves the agility and speed of the delivering IT services, right? Because you can provision the VMs as quick as possible. And another beauty is, so suppose you have a failure. Okay, suppose you have a failure here. Let me take a different color. If you have a failure, suppose this one failed. Okay, so they can do live migration. So all the VMs can go to another hypervisors, another physical servers hypervisor, and they can run on them. So this is a very very good feature of hypervisors. All right, so I think we understand what is hypervisors, and what are the benefits. I wanted to give you a analogy, but that analogy will not be as same as the hypervisor. But let me try to give something. Maybe it will satisfy 80% or 90%. So let's take an example of you are a owner, okay? You are a owner of a house or apartment, okay? And you have rooms. You have rooms, and you have you have laundry room, okay? You have, I mean, bedrooms, right? And you have internet service you provide, and you have, suppose you have 10 room, I mean, suppose 4 rooms, and you have 4 laundry room for each room, okay? And these are separated, okay? Actually, the laundry room, think about that. And you have internet. Now you hired an agent, and you are the one person, suppose, and you don't use all your resources, okay? You are staying in only one, so you this is you, okay? This is you in this room. So this is room number 1, 2, 3, and 4th room you are staying. And this is again one laundry for one, room number 1, laundry for room number 2, laundry for 3, and laundry for you, okay? And internet is common. And but you generate bill for each one, okay? You generate bill for each one, so that you have separate bill. Now you hired an agent here to rent out these apartments, I mean these rooms, okay? So this is agent, and this agent's task is to create agent, I mean tenant or paying guest, okay? PG1, it can run PG2, okay? PG3. So you cannot create more than, so each PG use, suppose 1 bedroom, okay? This PG need room number 1, it needs 2, and it's 3, okay? Now you cannot create the PG4. You cannot create. Why? Because you don't have any room in your apartment. You already allocated your resources, okay? The 4th one you need for your purpose, right? You have to leave, right? So similar way in the VM also, I mean for the hypervisor also, and VM, I mean virtualization, you cannot provide more resources than the physical server has, okay? So you are allocating the laundry also. So suppose you're given laundry number 2 to this one, laundry number 3 to this one, and laundry number 1 to this PG3, okay? So this is agent's work to manage, I mean find the PG and paying guest and rent it out here, and they will use their own rooms and laundry rooms, and also they will get the internet bill, okay? Suppose is X, Y, Z, and A, so it will get X, Y, Z, and the A is for the owner, okay? So that's and they are separated. They are separated and very secured, okay? So because each room has a wall between, okay? They cannot even this PG doesn't know who lives in the other room, okay? This doesn't know who is living in the other room. So similar way, the rooms are maybe your CPUs, okay? And laundry room is your RAM, and this is your network, okay? And PGs are nothing but your virtual machine, okay? Virtual machines. And these are like, no, this one room is allocated here, so once you allocate the CPU, it will become vCPU, okay? Virtual machine. And this is the memory, okay? I don't know whether it is called vMemory or what, but it is memory, okay? And this agent is your hypervisor, okay? All right. And this is owner, this is, you are the physical server. I'm not sure how much I know this analogy worked here, but I hope 80% to 90% it worked. And that's about hypervisors, virtualization, and virtual machines. And also the benefit here is, right, cost again, right? So instead of you are using whole, you are the only person, and you are not using all the 4 rooms, right? So, and all the 4 laundry room, and they are ideal, right? Nobody uses. So what you did, you rent it out to the paying guest or the tenants. So, and you are getting the rent, and you are suppose you also, financed it from the bank, and you're paying $2,000 for your entire house. Now you are getting paid by the PGs. So now each PG you are taking, suppose $400 each, right? So 4 multiplied by 3, $1,200 you are getting from the PGs, and so it is cost saving. So similar way, we are our virtualization also works that way, and hypervisors and virtual machines. Okay, so with that said, we are done for today, and please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you really like it. Thank you so much. Bye.